I would like to say to the people of the world and the people of Ireland that the Irish government literally don't care about young people's mental health. Because this closure of a vital mental health facility for young people with mental health problems is a step way, way too far. And it's so despicable and so evil that it cannot be compared to anything in this country. And the Irish people, the Irish government, in other words, will not care, do not care about the young people, which is the thumbnail. They went out and protest outside the hospital, and the Irish government never even lift a finger, they even care about it. That just shows you, young people, they were in the hospital, went out and protest, and they with sick disabilities, and mental disabilities, had to go out and protest, and the Irish government, there's a few members of the government there, but they weren't in the government, if you know what I'm saying. There were parties in the government, but they're not in the government exactly. And the Taoiseach and the President sits down and does nothing about it. I would like to say to Michael D. Higgins that you are running for another term, but what are you offering? You are offering nothing. I sent the message to your office, I sent the message to the Taoiseach, and I haven't got one response. One response. I mean, if you cared about young people's mental health, instead of letting some poor young child think about a Taoiseach and President, because I know some of you sufficers are listening. I know, because you are terrified of me. You might take them, you might not, them young people that were protesting outside them, you might not have heard of them, but you will hear me. I make sure you hear me, and I make sure that I be the death of you. Because Michael D. Higgins, I tell you one thing. Worry about the young people, for fuck's sake, President. You're little bollocks, that's all you are. If you're going to run for a second term, give something to the Irish people. Get this hospital back for the young people. And stop bullshitting about you being for suicide and you're not even doing anything. And you call yourself a president. You must be president of some foreign country, because you're not president of this country. Because you're such a disgrace to the Irish people. I sent the message to you, and you're very, very aware of what happened. And you won't even stand up and say to the Minister for Health and the Department of Health, I will not accept this. I will not accept this. You cut my wages. You cut my wages. You keep this hospital open. That's what you should have done. Now that's a good precedent. If you keep saying, you take my wages and you keep this hospital open. But not even a finger was lifted by the hours. Not even a finger. And I say to the young people, the people who are campaigning for this, because I'm campaigning now and you have a queer problem on your hand. I say to the young people who's campaigning against this, and all the others too who's campaigning, keep campaigning. Go up to the hours. Protest outside the hours. Get the president to just absolutely dismay about this. Because Because this is a step way, way too far. A step. This is not even a step. This is even just... And this is a democracy. To say this country is a democracy. What I say is a dictatorship. That does not care about people. They only care about the money in their back pocket. Probably to save a bit of change at the end of the day to close this hospital. That probably wouldn't even cost much a week to run. And this government they can use young people and do not care about them. I blame the Minister for Health and the government itself and the President itself. If one child dies of suicide this week, and they should have went to this hospital, or could have got a bed in this hospital, I'm going to blame the President of Ireland, and I'm going to personally blame him for that person's death. God forgive me for saying this, but I will blame him. Because he's his own fault and it's his government's fault. And I don't care, President Higgins, you can send every guard in the country after me, but you have an even bigger problem with me. How are you going to shut me up? You might shut them up, but you won't shut me up. And you will never shut me up. No matter what you do, I always focus on the people. You might focus on your back house check. You might focus on your safe. But you're going to focus on me. I make sure of that. I make sure that you will not be elected if you do not do something. I give you an opportunity to do something. I'm giving you an opportunity, President. And I make sure if you do it, I give you my vote. I give you my vote. If you do something about it, even if you open 5 beds extra, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care, as long as you done something, as long as you even said this is a disgrace, something needs to be done. At least if you said that, at least I give you a bit of credit. But I'm not giving you any credit. And as simple as that, I don't care if you send every cop down here in the country. But it's only the truth, and I'm not going to say it's not the truth. Because you're president of this country, not president of America, Australia or Canada. And stop worrying about what they do. If they jump in the lake, we're not going to jump in the lake after them. And as simple as that. And make sure everybody supports these people, because I have to give them, these young people, the credit they deserve. They are an honour to this country for going out and protesting. And I have to say, I would like everybody to just get on to the Minister for Health, Simon Harris, on Twitter or on Facebook or anything, and say Lindauer Hospital must be open again. Say that. Could everybody do me that favour? Now say it with me. Lindauer Hospital must be open again. Say that to Simon Harris, the Minister for Health, and if you can, say to the President of Ireland. And make sure they can hear you. And shout it as loud as you can, and as proud as you can. Say that I will not stand down, you can't arrest me, because I'm standing up for my human rights. Because that's what they're taking away from the young people. Human rights. Thank you.